Hey guys, so today we'll be discussing Postgres and EMET 5.5, and I'm Nita Mitchell, so let's begin with Postgres. Postgres is an open source object relational database system that is developed and updated by volunteers around the world, but it was originally developed by Michael Stonebreaker. It is known for its reliability, data integrity, and correctness, and it runs on all the major operating systems such as Linux and Windows, and it's designed to use SQL, which is structured query language, and is used to build databases. Because it's a relational database system, that basically means that it stores data in tables. And Postgres has many features such as complex queries, and that is when a query searches using more than one parameter value on a multiple specifications. Foreign keys, which is a field in one table that identifies a row in another table. Triggers, which is a special procedure that automatically starts when an event happens in the database server, and there's a number of other features too. And it includes multiple programming languages such as C++, Perl, Ruby, Java, and a lot more also. It's a very popular and useful database system, and it also has a number of other advanced features along with the other features that I stated before. Let's go to the best practices. So some of the best practices associated with Postgres is to deny remote connections, and this helps remove potential attacks from attackers who could be anywhere, and even when an employee tries to connect remotely, it could leave the door open for a potential attack. So you can do this by using the HBA config file, which is the host-based authentication file. You can set that up that way. When I say peer authentication, I'm referring to how Linux user accounts are automatically connected with the Postgres accounts. So it allows users to connect without using a password. So what we need to ensure is that that user account is not used for anything but accessing the database software. And another important tip to go along with that is to create separate roles for each of the applications. And the third best practice is to enable SSL, and this will help make the database more secure, just like it does for the other services we've discussed earlier this semester. Now let's go to the final best practice, and that is to control client authentication and access. And this tip helps ensure that whoever is connecting has the authorization and the right authentication. So the user can decide who's allowed to connect to the database system through the HBA config file also, and this will help limit the connections to Postgres. Now let's move on to EMET 5.5. And EMET is the Enhanced Mitigation Experience Toolkit used on Windows, and it's a tool that protects against breaches and security threats, and is usually used by system administrators. But it is used among industries, enterprises, and regular PC users. And what it does is prepares for the instances that are most common for attackers to exploit vulnerabilities in systems. So the program will attempt to block, terminate, or even disprove those actions. And it offers certificate trust, which is an SSL TSL certificate pinning feature. And with EMET, you can configure system mitigations and also configure the mitigations per executable. By using the second option, it gives more control over the mitigations to the user. Now, EMET best practices. The first one is lock down specific processes. Locking down rules in the EMET means that you are configuring certain and the most important applications that are the easiest to be targeted and compromised. So instead of locking down the entire system, you can go in and configure in the EMET wizard by going to the application configuration window after selecting the application you want to configure in the running processes window. And there you can apply all the rules or remove all the rules, which sets it back to default. So you can do whichever you choose is the safest and securest way to go. With the certificate trust feature, you have to use the certificate trust configuration window and provide a list of websites that you want to protect and give the rules you want to use for those websites. With maximum security profile, you can select this by going to the quick profile name you see in the EMET window, and you can select the maximum security settings to ensure full protection on EMET, and also configure the rules in the system status if applications start breaking. In case something goes wrong, you can always change the rules back to where they were before, put them back on default basically. And another best practice is reporting. As always, reporting is always important. It is an essential tool to enable, and EMET allows you to enable logging through Windows Event Log, and it also allows the use of displaying alerts also. So there's two settings that you can actually choose, or just one. It really doesn't matter, but I think the best option is to make sure it's logged in Windows. And it is important to test EMET thoroughly before putting it into production. So when you configure a rule, it's very important to at least put it into audit log, so we can ensure that it's working properly before it actually is put into production. So you can do audit only mode. I said audit log, but you can do the audit only mode, and after the rule has been tested, you can put it back into stop on exploit mode. So there you go. That's it. Until next week. Thank you guys.